like me better when I wasn't yours. I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back to who I was before. I like me better, I like me better, yeah.
What's good? What's poppin', Golden Bays? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dominique if you are new, and if you are new, welcome. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also make sure you hit the bell so you can be notified whenever I upload. And if you are returning Golden Bay, then welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. As you see from the title down below, today I'm going to be sharing some test taking tip with you guys. I think this was a great video idea because you guys know I am in my 3rd semester of nursing school, and I kind of, you know, got some tips down, or like a little bit of routine. So I just thought I'd go ahead and share with you guys some things that I've been doing to help me pass my exams, especially because after I posted this on Instagram, you guys went ballistic. Y'all was like, girl, you aced that test in like under 25 minutes. How did you do it? I was like, you know what, that is a bomb video idea. Let me go ahead and share some tips with my Golden Bays. Y'all know whenever I have some information, I am super happy to share. So before we get started with today's video is sponsored by Picmonic. You guys know, if you are not new to my channel, that I've worked with Picmonic before, and even before me and Picmonic decided to partner up, I've been using them. So when we decided to partner, I was like really happy because I was like, wow, I already know everything about you guys because I already use you guys. But I'm going to be talking to you guys more about Picmonic later in the video. Let's go ahead and hop straight into these nursing school test taking tips. So tip number 1 is to prepare with the best materials possible. When I say best materials, I need you guys to be using A1 sources of information. So the best places to get your information is, one, of course, from your school. You want to be using whatever materials your school is providing, whether it's PowerPoints, notes, whatever it is. You also want to make sure you are, of course, using your textbook, whatever textbook your school is, you know, assigning you to read, whatever chapters they're assigning you to read. Definitely try to go ahead and get those chapters in, you guys, because that is where the information lies. Also, you guys know I rave about the NCLEX book. It is also listed inside of my Amazon storefront, but when I tell you guys that is my holy grail, I absolutely love that NCLEX book because it has no fluff. It has, you know, no cushion. It tells you exactly what you need to know. Also, you are already studying for the NCLEX, and they also have test questions, you guys. They have practice questions. They also have rationales. You guys know I love to have some practice question that has rationales, because you not only want to know what you're getting wrong, but you want to know why you're getting it wrong. You also want to make sure you're reading the rationales on things that you're getting right. Confirm that you're getting it right because you know why. You understand? You also want to go ahead and look in the back of your textbook, because majority of textbooks have, you know, practice questions back there. See if they have some practice questions. Hopefully they have rationales. Just check out the back of your textbook. And last but not least, you guys, definitely check out Picmonic. Now again, I've been using Picmonic before we even decided to sponsor, so I absolutely love them. Now, if you are unfamiliar with what Picmonic is a audio visual learning tool for us nursing students to help us learn and remember the most hardest and the most tested nursing concepts. So they literally have every single nursing concept that you can think of on their website. And like I said, they are audio and they are visual. So you guys know I love pictures. I love to see cartoons running across the screen. This is a great study tool and you guys should definitely check it out. I'll have my link listed down below. I'm also going to show you guys how to use it. I'm going to show you guys how to navigate a little bit through Picmonic, and then we're going to hop right back into our test taking tips.
Hey you guys, so I just wanted to give you a quick tutorial of Picmonic and show you a few features that they offer in case you are on the fence about joining. So right here you see in the search bar, you are just going to type in whatever nursing concept you are ready to study. So today we will be studying dysrhythmias. However, one cool feature that I just learned that they have is this recommended section. So based off of your previous searches, Picmonic will recommend videos that you may be interested in. So as you guys can see, my recommended section is filled with dysrhythmia videos because I have searched dysrhythmia before I was watching some videos. So you just go ahead and type in your concept, and literally every video that Picmonic has related to that concept will pop up. So we are going to do just a basic ECG or EKG interpretation. I actually already watched this video, but as you can see, as soon as you click it, it starts. But right here, I want you guys to notice that you have the option to do educational or story. So this means that you can have them teach you, or you can have them, share how you can remember it through a story. And then right here on your left hand side, they have the key points, and I really like this because you can skip to a certain point that you may have trouble, understanding or remembering. And then I also like that you can add a fact. So that's one cool thing about Picmonic. You can actually edit these stories in order to make them personalized. And then right here in the tabs above, after you play the educational portion or the story, you can review. And they also have some other things that you can do, such as a quiz that you'll see right here. And I love that once you pick an answer, you guys, they have a rationale. I told you we love that. And then last but not least, you can edit, the entire Picmonic story, because sometimes we need to add a few key facts to help us remember. And last but not least, when you scroll down, I think this is probably my favorite. They have everything that they taught you, everything that they said in transcript. They also have pictures. So if you are like myself, sometimes I don't catch everything by audio. You can see exactly what they said in words. It's written out. So I really love that. So that is all. I just wanted to show you guys, a brief tutorial and walkthrough of Picmonic in case you were wondering what exactly is Picmonic, how does it work, things like that. This is just a brief synopsis of how Picmonic can help you.
Okay, so tip number 3 is to not second guess yourself, you guys. And I know that this is super hard, and it makes it even harder when you have the ability to go back and look over your test answers. Now, that's one thing that I absolutely love about something my school does. We are not allowed to go back. So once you submit that answer, it's done. You cannot go back. Now, this can be good for some and this can be bad for some. Again, I personally like it. I am also naturally a fast test taker. Again, going back to tip number 1, when you study with the best materials, you will know the information. So do not second guess yourself. 9 times out of 10, the first answer that you choose is the correct answer. It's when you go back and change the answer that it is now wrong. If you guys do go back and decide to change an answer choice, I want you guys to literally have a court session in your mind and rationalize why you are changing that answer. Because again, 9 times out of 10, the first answer choice that you chose was correct. Okay, so definitely have that little argument like, listen, we are changing this because, and I want you to bullet why you are changing that answer choice. You really have to do this because we often go back and change from the correct answer to the wrong answer. So never second guess yourself, and I know it is easier said than done. So tip number 4 is to definitely wake up a few hours before your exam begins and get some last minute studying in. So my exams begin at about 10 a.m. so I'm typically up around like maybe 7, maybe 6:30, 7 a.m. That is just so I can review the material and get some last minute values in my head. I'm like, okay, the Jockson's normal value is 0.5 to 2. I'm just getting those last minute things in the front of my mind. However, you do not want to study right up until the exam. So again, my exam begins at 10 a.m. I'm usually closing the books at about 9 a.m., 9:30, because you do not want to over exhaust your brain before the exam even begins. But you do want to do that last minute studying. So definitely try that. If your exam begins at 10 like mine, wake up at about 6:30, 7 o'clock, get some last minute studying in, but stop about 30 minutes to an hour before the exam begins, because you definitely want to let your brain rest. And again, this is so you can get those last minute things in the front of your mind, but you do not want to over exhaust your brain. Tip number 5, which actually goes hand in hand with tip number 4, tip number 5 is to create a test day routine. By the way, let me know down below if you guys would like for me to create one. I of course won't create one on the day of, because you guys know on test day I am in the zone, y'all. I'm focused, okay? But I'll definitely do one on a regular day, and I just show you guys what I would normally and like typically do. But you definitely want to create a routine, because you guys know when you are in a routine, your body feels more relaxed. You already know what's coming next on test day. So definitely create a routine. And like I said, it does go hand in hand with tip number 4, which was waking up a few hours before your exam and doing some studying. So that of course is my routine on test day. I wake up about about 7:30, 8 o'clock sometimes. It just depends on how comfortable I feel with the material. You know, if I feel kind of comfortable, you know, I'm not too worried about the exam, then I may just wake up at 8 o'clock, you know, open up the books by 8:15, and then I'm still closing them at the same time. It just depends on how I'm feeling. So definitely create a routine, because again, the more you feel comfortable and you feel relaxed, you're not, you know, running around to get your coffee, you already know what's coming next on test day, the more better you'll do on your exam. Because it's like you know, you're being late on test day. You definitely want to have a test day routine. And again, let me know down below if you guys would like for me to show you my test day routine. Moving on, tip number 6 is actually for when you are stuck between two answer choices. So when you are stuck in between two answer choices, I do not want you guys to any, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, do not do that, because you do have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. So in that instance, I want you guys to literally have a courthouse. Again, like I said, when you are changing your test answer the second time, I want you to have a courthouse in your mind and rationalize why one is right and why the other one is wrong. Okay, because that way you can critically think your way through it. That is what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to have that court session in your mind and say why this answer is more right than the other one. Okay, and then if you have totally no clue, statistics show that usually answer choice C is correct. So if in doubt, just go with answer choice C. Tip number 7 is to read your questions out loud. And I know this may sound super immature, but you guys, I don't care. Literally, when I am taking my test, I am reading every single question. I'm reading every single answer out loud. And the reason why is because there is science behind reading things out loud. Why do you guys think when we were, you know, in kindergarten and things like that, they would make us read out loud? Not only to improve our reading skills, but reading out loud actually enhances your ability to process information. Go look that up, because that is a proven fact. When you read something out loud, it improves your ability to actually process what you are reading, if that makes sense. And the best way to answer a question right is to actually correctly process what you are reading and understand what the question is asking you. There has probably been so many times that you have been like, what is this question asking me? And it's probably because you are not reading the question out loud. I promise you guys, this is a game changer. I swear, when my teacher probably goes back and watches my exams, because all of our exams are recorded since, you know, we are at home. When my teacher goes back to watch my exams, she probably thinks I'm crazy because I am reading everything out loud. I am having that court session out loud. I'm like, okay, well, this is wrong because, you know, I'm talking out loud. Sometimes you just have to talk to yourself. So definitely start to read your questions out loud, read your answer choices out loud. And how I want you to read your question is, I want you to read the entire question. Read the question in its entirety. I want you to read every single answer choice. And then I want you to go back and read the stem. So the stem is usually like the last sentence in the question, because usually in a nursing question, it's a scenario and then it's the stem, and then of course you have your answer choices. So I want you to read the entire question, read your answer choices, and then go back and read the stem. The stem is the actual question. The stem may be, what should the nurse do next? You know, you need to understand what the question is asking you, because once you understand what the question is asking you, you can correctly answer that question. Tip number 8 is to not spend too much time on one question. And I know, again, this may be something that you guys always hear, but you do not want to spend too much time on one question. And of course, reason being, you are 9 times out of 10 being timed, so you don't want to spend 10 minutes on one question, but you also don't want to spend a lot of time on one question, because at the same time you are depleting your self-esteem. When you come across a question and you do not know the answer, it starts to make you think like, dang, how am I going to do on the rest of this test? So if you do not know the answer to a question, do the courthouse. Like I said, have that court session in your mind. If you don't know the answer, choose C and move on. You guys, I am human too. I come across questions that I'm just like, bro, what is this? Okay, what is this? I literally choose C and I just keep going. Like, it is what it is. It's one question out of 50. Now, don't get me wrong, one question can hurt you where, you know, it brings you from a C to an F, because you guys know in nursing school there's no D's. So one question can hurt you, but why sit there and deplete your self-esteem or lower your self-esteem because you do not know one answer choice? Click an answer and move on, because you have 49 other questions to answer. Tip number 9 is to do practice questions questions, and you guys know I say this all the time on my channel: practice questions, practice questions, practice questions. And I'm going to say it again, practice questions, because it is one thing to know nursing material. You can have all of the values in your head, you can know what this medication does, you can know the adverse effects, but if you do not know how to apply it, you might as well not even know the information. Our nursing school questions are built to understand how to apply the information as a nurse. They want to know, what are you going to do if this happened? For instance, if you know a normal blood pressure and you are giving somebody a diuretic and our patient's blood pressure is already low, what are we going to do next? We are going to hold that diuretic because we do not want to bottom out our patient. You get what I'm saying? You know the normal blood pressure, you know what a diuretic does, but if you don't know, okay, well, if my patient's blood pressure is here and he has a diuretic due at 6 a.m., you need to hold it. So that's what I mean. You have to understand how to apply the information that you know. But the only way to do that is by doing practice questions. And again, the best practice questions are from your school, in the back of your textbook, the NCLEX book, and also Picmonic. You guys, Picmonic does offer practice questions. Definitely check those out because they are amazing. The more practice questions you do, the better. Another great example of why you should do practice questions is because if you have a patient that is having difficulty breathing, of course you can contact the HCP, of course you can call the doctor. We're not saying that's wrong, but what is the first thing that you would do? You want to just leave the room and go say, okay, I'm gonna go call the doctor. You're going to put the head of the bed up first, you're going to apply oxygen, and then you may go call the healthcare provider. You get what I'm saying? The only way for you to understand how to start answering these questions and putting yourself in the scenario as a nurse is to do these practice questions. You guys, I promise they are a game changer. Tip number 10 are the ABCs of nursing. If you are unfamiliar with what the ABCs of nursing are, they are airway, breathing, and circulation. So these are your main things that you need to be worried about when it comes to answering a test question. If all else fails, I want you guys to look for the ABCs of nursing in your answer choices. So again, just like the previous example that I gave you guys about having a patient who is having difficulty breathing, I'm not gonna go and call the healthcare provider right now. If there's an answer choice that says put the head of the bed up or put oxygen on, that is what you are going to choose. Why? Because that is one of the ABCs of nursing: airway, breathing, circulation. Of course we can call the healthcare provider. That is never wrong. When in doubt, call the provider. But there is something that you can do right now as a nurse, and that includes the ABCs of nursing. Also, you want to make sure you are familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I'm going to go ahead and pop it up on the screen right here if you are unfamiliar with it. These are things, again, that you want to look for in your answer choices. You want to make sure you are meeting the basic needs for the patient before you are worrying about other things that are at the top of the pyramid. So for instance, we need to make sure our patient has oxygen before we can start worrying about why they're crying. You understand? So that again goes to the ABCs of nursing. Those are your priority things that we need to make sure that we have before we have a dead patient. Okay, I can't worry about why Miss Susie is crying down the hall when she don't have no oxygen. Okay, so these are things that you want to be looking for in your test answers. So I actually have 2 bonus tips for you guys. One bonus tip is to never add to a test question. Now this was something that it took me a very long time to start doing, and I struggle with it, but you never want to add information to a test question. So for instance, let's say you get an entire scenario and you start to add pieces and you're like, okay, well, is she doing this? Does she have this? Do not add pieces to the question. That will twist you up so fast. Take what the question is giving you and answer it. Do not say, well, is this patient on this medication? Is this patient, you know, no. Answer what they are giving you. Trust me, again, I struggle with this and it took me a very long time to narrow my brain because I have all this stuff going on. Trust me, you guys, I get it. You have all this information up there and you're trying to pour it on this patient, but the patient don't have none of this. You get what I'm saying? So never add information to your test questions. Always read what the question is asking you and answer the question. Don't assume. That is a big thing. Do not assume. Do not add information. So my last tip actually applies to before taking the exam, and I do this all of the time, and my professor, she's really sweet, so I know she doesn't mind it. But what I like to do is whatever questions I have as I'm going through my lessons, as I'm going through the textbook, I literally create a huge email. And again, my professor, she's super nice, so she takes the time and she responds to the entire email. But I create a huge email as I'm going through my lessons, as I'm going through my textbooks, with questions, you guys. And getting those questions answered could help a lot, because I promise you guys, one of those questions that you have could most likely be on your test. So I write things as far as what is the normal value for this, because again, you guys know that normal values, they kind of, you know, they vary, also they change a lot. So if I have trouble with anything, no matter what it is, I always create a huge email. And of course, before the exam, I send that email and I get a response, and that just helps me get clarification on things that I have questions about. So definitely consider doing that. I know it's a very small tip, but it has helped me a lot. There has been several times where I've gotten answers from that email and I'm like, oh wow, that was on the exam, like I needed that, you know. So definitely use all of your resources. Your professors are a resource as well, so definitely pick their brains. That's what they're there for. They're there to help you. They are not there to fail you, I promise you. So you guys, that is going to go ahead and conclude this video. I hope you guys got at least one test day tip from me. I hope you guys either, you know, learn to create a routine or the ABCs of nursing, something. I hope you guys are taking something away from this video. Also remember to check out Picmonic. I will have my personalized link down below. If you use my link, then you do get 20% off a Picmonic membership, so definitely check it out. I see a lot of you guys have been signing up, so let me know down below how you like it so far. Again, I was using Picmonic before we even decided to partner, so I'm really happy to be partnering with, you know, a company that I already love. Also, make sure you go ahead and check my Amazon storefront. That link will be in the description box down below, because I have the NCLEX book listed in there, and also some other nursing school supplies that you may be interested in. And you guys know the drill. Until next time, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.
I like me better when I was yours.